Welcome everybody to our Yin Yoga practice today, Yin Yoga for soothing and centering. Today we will need a couple props such as a blanket or beach towel, a bolster or pillow, and a yoga strap or necktie or scarf. Feel free to have 2 blocks as well. Let's begin in our first posture, which is a supported child's pose using our pillow or bolster. We'll begin to bring the bolster the length of the torso. Bring the toes towards each other and the knees wide, and snuggle the bolster between the thighs here so you can rest the upper body. Start to release the upper body onto the bolster and the arms connected to the earth. And then bring one cheek onto one side here so the head can rest comfortably. Take a few moments here to get grounded, centered into our practice today. Begin to notice the breathing pattern coming in and out through the nose. Perhaps the gaze is soft or the eyes are closed. And slowly allow the awareness to move into the physical body. If we have one side here, let's go ahead and change. So we're taking the opposite side. Cheek rests, eyes soft. Feeling this gentle, nurturing space for us to relax, release. Perhaps inviting an intention, offering, or dedication into our practice today. And perhaps our intention is just to ground and center and soothe the nervous system, releasing anything that came before or after this practice, allowing ourselves to be present in this very moment, here and now, with body and breath. And we'll slowly begin to release the shape, walking the hands back, pressing the upper body to release our prop. We'll make our way onto all fours, tabletop position, and taking a few rounds of our spinal movements here, cat-cow. Drawing the heart forward, the tailbone high on the inhale, and rounding through the spine, tucking the chin on the exhale. Just moving here with your breath cycle in a way that makes you feel good, in a way that invites beautiful spinal flexion and extension. Moving into our next pose, Swan, we'll bring that right knee behind the right wrist. So here, if you feel like that right hip is lifted off the earth and would like extra support, you can slide a prop here, either a blanket or a bolster underneath the right thigh. The most important part is that the hip points are level and we're not dumping the weight to the right side. When you feel ready here, you can start to fold into our sleeping swan. And here, it might feel nice to rest the head on that bolster. You can also use a block here or no props at all. Start to begin to notice the sensations in the outer right hip. And of course, if this is not comfortable for the knee, you always have the choice to take a reclining pigeon or a figure 4 pose if that feels better for the body. Taking the shape that feels good for you in this moment. And then using our breath as an anchor here to allow us to stay present, stay aware of sensation, even thought patterns that may come and go. We can acknowledge and release. Being so gentle with ourselves in our practice. Allowing a sense of compassion and kindness guided inwards towards ourselves to be the energy that infuses the space of our practice, maybe infusing our intention. Allowing Yin Yoga to provide that safe space so that we may come to our center, readjust, regroup. And we'll slowly begin to release, walking the hands back. Let's move into a deer pose here with a twist. So before we move, we're going to take a 90-90 here. So as we lift the torso, draw that left knee in so it's in line with your hip. And then walk your right shin out just a little bit so it's in line with the front of the mat. And we'll start to twist the upper body and torso to the right. You can use your left hand on that outer right thigh as a gentle guide here. Try not to push or pull, but just feel that gentle twist. And then from here, use your left hand, guide the left knee in on top of the right. We take big windshield wipers here, right to left, adding a twist here if you'd like to. And just observing the effects of our rebound here, noticing that energy shifting and moving, how one side feels different than the other. Extending the legs forward, little taps with the knees, little windshield wipers with the feet. Maybe a gentle massage of the legs. And of course, these are all suggestions, so feel free to just really intuit what feels good for you. If that's resting in shavasana, feel free to do that. We'll make our way to the left side for Swan pose, coming onto all fours. Left knee comes behind the left wrist, walking those right toes back, finding that hip level here. So either sliding a block underneath the left hip if needed. Take a couple breaths here upright. Feel that gentle back bend. And slowly lowering down at your own pace, using props if you'd like to support the upper body. Forehead can rest on the block. You can also snuggle that bolster underneath the forehead or even under the torso here, kind of like we did in the child's pose. Deep and full breaths, slow and long exhales. Softening here. And slowly release, walking the hands back. Let's come into that deer variation where we walk that right knee in here slightly. You can use a blanket on the outer left knee if you'd like to, especially if you feel like it's lifted pretty far off the floor. Go ahead and take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, start to twist to the left, using that right hand just as a guide, not to push or pull. Just a couple breaths here, finding that movement here, twisting through the spine. And release. Use that right hand, guide it over the left. Big windshield wiper here, tick-tock the knees, right to left. Adding that little twist here, coming over to one side and then the other. Feels really nice for the back. And gently making our way onto our back. Here we'll be using our strap. Like I said, you can use a necktie, scarf, whatever you have available. Let's bring the strap around the right mound of the foot and extend the left leg long. Couple breaths here in a hamstring stretch. Keep a micro bend through that right knee. Start to draw the right thigh towards the chest, keeping the back of the shoulders grounded to the earth. You can use both hands here on either side of the strap, just gently drawing the leg towards you, creating that weight and gravitational pull. And finding what's accessible here. So finding that edge between effort and ease, where we can hold, breathe, and receive the benefits. So let's take the strap in the right hand and open the leg out to the right side. Here you can also use a prop underneath that right foot. So if you want to support the leg, you can bring a block underneath the calf muscle, the outer edge of the foot, whatever feels good. Just take a moment here, and if you feel like your left hip bone is lifting off the earth, you can just gently use your left palm to guide the left hip bone and just feel the weight of the earth, holding the weight of our bodies. Draw the leg back through center, switch the grip, and take the leg over to the left side. So here we're in a twist. Again, you can use the prop underneath the foot if that feels good. Reaching out with that right arm, back of the head is soft. Gaze might float over right fingertips if that feels good. And soften and breathe. And draw the leg back through center. Release the strap. Hug that right knee in half when relieving here. Squeeze it into the armpit area and start to roll the ankle in circles, one way and then the other. And then release that right leg. Take a moment here, pause. Mini shavasana. And we'll begin the other side, taking the strap around the left mound of the foot, extending the left leg high. Keeping that gentle micro bend through the left leg as you draw the leg gently towards the body. Back of the head is soft, shoulder blades are rooted. And when you're ready, taking the strap into the left hand, sending that left leg out. Opening here, right arm, reaching out, palm facing up. Or you can bring that palm to the hip bone. Draw that leg back through center, cross it over. Reach out with that left arm. And back through center, releasing the strap, hugging the knee to the chest, half when relieving pose, squeeze it in. Roll the ankle here in one direction and then the other. And then release here, take a nice full body stretch and just rest into our mini corpse pose, mini shavasana. And we'll make our way onto our belly. So extend one arm overhead and roll over here. And you may want a little bit more padding here because we're coming into Starfish pose, which can be a little bit intense for the shoulders and chest. So feel free to pad up here using a blanket. So we'll wiggle the body to the left edge of the mat, extend your right arm out and press your left palm down, bending the elbow so that you come into that starfish arm. We'll bend the knees, bring the knees in line with the belly button here. And one option is to take that left arm, wrap it around, palm facing out. So right arm is extended, left arm is wrapping around. And if you do need to adjust, I'll ask you to come back onto your belly. So you have to extend the legs and then come back onto the belly and adjust the arm. Also, if your head is super uncomfortable here, you can also use a pillow underneath the head, or you can roll up that blanket or block if that's necessary. So we are in Starfish, which is a chest opener, and a shoulder opener. So feel that opening here of the tissues. It's normal to feel that little bit of itchy sensation as the tissues start to expand and gently pull apart. However, if you are losing sensation through the shoulder, we have come too far into the nerves, and I will ask you just to ease up on the pose so that we do maintain proper blood flow. So just breathing into this stretch, finding those spaces where we can bring that element of soothing and relaxation into the more intense shapes. So what a beautiful gift to be able to adapt and acquire these abilities to find a center, find that soothing point, that center point in the midst of intensity, in the midst of change, in the midst of discomfort, and how we can always take these practices off the mat and into the world. We practice not just for the physical body and to feel good, but also for the mental, emotional aspects of ourselves. The mental body, the emotional body. We'll begin to come out of Starfish here. Release that bind with the left arm. Let's extend the legs and rock onto the belly. And if you need movement through the shoulders, go ahead and roll the shoulders up and back, and we'll bring one cheek to the mat. We'll prepare for the other side. So wiggling the body to the right, extend the left arm out so the palm and the wrist are in line with the shoulder. Start to roll onto that left shoulder, left hip, so the knees are bent, right palm is grounded here. You are welcome to stay just as you are, keeping that right hand rooted to the earth. If you want to take that bind, wrap the right hand around the small of the back and the palm will face out. Couple more breaths. And releasing gently, grounding that left palm, extending the legs long, rocking onto the belly here. Release the arms beside the body and we'll roll the shoulders here up, down, and back if we need some movement. Resting one cheek here, opposite cheek. Bringing the palms underneath the shoulders, pressing back here, we come into a child's pose. Reaching the arms forward here, a little bit more passive, forearms are rooted. We'll move into a thread the needle here. Perhaps we grab a block or a soft pillow. Let's snuggle that left arm underneath the right. So we thread the left arm, and if it's comfortable for your head or neck, you can bring a pillow or prop here underneath the head. If that's too high or not comfortable, feel free to release the block, and you might rest on the forearm, or you can just rest on the mat. Just a couple more breaths here. And begin to release, walk that right palm closer to the face, press down, unthread the arm. You can sit in Thunderbolt here, bringing the knees a little bit closer, rolling the shoulders up, down, and back if that feels good. Shake it out. And we come to the other side, knees nice and wide. Threading the right arm this time underneath the left. Supporting the head if needed so it's not hanging in the air, either by the left forearm, or you can use a pillow, whatever you have. And making yourself comfortable in this shape. Long and slow breaths. And releasing here and turning the right arm, sitting back on the heels, rolling the shoulders up, down, and back. And we'll come into our final pose, which will be our variation of shavasana. So if you would not like to take a heart opener, feel free to just come on into your traditional posture. Otherwise, we'll use our bolster long ways onto our spine and bring our blanket underneath our head to support, so our chin is lifted over the heart. If you have any issues with the hips here, bringing the feet together and the knees wide, you can bring 2 blocks to support the thighs. So this is just an option. It's a supported heart bench pose or supported fish. And if this is not comfortable for you, please make yourself comfortable in your final rest. Whatever that looks like, whatever shape you need today. As we settle in, allow the benefits of the practice, the energy of the practice to settle. Feel the breath moving into its natural rhythm. And allow a sense of gentleness, kindness, calmness to move throughout the body. Feeling the body release and relax. Soothing the heart. Centering the mind. Relaxing the body. Staying just as you are if you'd like to continue here. Or you can begin to release the pose, wiggling fingers and toes, ankles and wrists, and then gently pressing up here, coming into a seated posture. Gathering the hands at the heart space, and thank you so much for joining me today. Wishing you all peace, love, and light on your journeys. Namaste.